Welcome to White House Field. Back on the Anglers Extra pregame show, Jake Eisenberg joined by the skipper John Schiffner at his old stomping grounds. Schiff, a Harwich Mariner back in the day and
right
the mid-'70s, right over there at third base. So
Third base.
we'll start with that. Schiff, what was it like playing here? Take me through 74, 75, and 76.
It was great. It was a great experience. I loved it. It's a wonderful community. The association was great. I had Woody Woodworth with Brown University was my first coach in 1974. I came here late in 74. I left the Atlantic Collegiate League, much to the chagrin of my coach with the Bergen Pilots, who does not speak to me to this day. Because on the same day, Rick Cerrone, who eventually made it up with the Yankees, I was the 3-hitter, he was the 4-hitter, and we left to come to. I came to the Cape. Ricky went to go to the Alaskan League, but it was great experience. Like I said, the people here were fabulous. I played 2 years under Fred Ebbett, the legendary coach at Harwich High, and then legendary commissioner here in the Cape Cod League, and he was just the nicest man, one of the best summer coaches you ever be around, and we just had a blast. Did an absolute blast down here. I couldn't wait to come back, and I was possibly going to sign after my junior year, and why not? The money wasn't that great, and parents said, "Nah, you got a good scholarship. Let's, I think you should stay." And I said, "Sure, gee." I could have gone. I could have gone to some godforsaken places in minor league ball, but I ended up staying here, and no regrets whatsoever. It was a great, 2.5 summers.
And nowadays, for a player to be here 2.5 summers, almost 3, it's kind of unheard of.
Right. The draft wasn't like it was. And the money wasn't there, obviously. The emphasis on education was very important. There was, the major league money was there for your, to help pay for your expenses, but it wasn't like it is today. So yeah, most of the guys finished out. There were guys who left after their junior year, the big time drafts. But again, it was really weird. Back then there was a lot, 50 rounds too. So it was a little interesting then too. So. But education was very important to your parents. Finishing it out wasn't that big a deal. A lot of senior signs, a lot of guys who signed in those years did their 4 years and then signed and then did very well. So turning pro was an option for a lot of us, but most of us seemed to say, let's finish it out, and that gave you that extra year here in the Cape.
From those 2.5 years here at White House Field, what's one memory or one summer that really sticks out to you?
Oh, they all do, because you've heard me say this on the broadcast before. It was a blast to be on Cape Cod. I mean, it was fun. There was things to do. Baseball was extremely important. You were here to play ball, but you had time to enjoy. I learned, went deep sea fishing for the first time down, striper bass, bluefish, ate bluefish for the first time. Had some of the best clam chowder, New England clam chowder ever, because it's here on Cape Cod. Learned how to clam, do those kind of things. Go to the beach, have a good time, and play ball, and work our butts off, because the NCAA required you to work in those years. I mean, I had some great jobs. I worked, at one point I was sanding boat bottoms at Saquatucket Harbor. Then I got promoted. I was made the night watchman. That lasted one night. So that's a legendary story.
Do tell.
Oh God, yeah. It was my third summer here, and it was a good job. It was a town job. I was making $3 an hour. Yeah, well, it was a pretty good job. And since I was a veteran of the team, I got, they said, this is one of the better jobs. You've been here. You got it. Okay, great. What am I doing? Oh, you're going to be the night watchman at Saquatucket Harbor. Oh, okay, cool. Night watchman. Wait a minute. We get night games. Yeah. Okay. So the first night of the season, we're down in Falmouth. 7:30 starts. So we get home, and it's well past midnight, and I'm supposed to be working at midnight. Yeah, you just played 9 innings. You drive back, and oh my God, sometime during the evening or early morning, I would say, I fell asleep. And the next thing I know is the assistant harbor master is shaking me. Hey, you got to wake up. There's a boat missing. Excuse me? Yep. Somebody stole a boat on my watch, and I just ran into him. Tom. Oh gosh, what's Tom? I can't think of Tom's name right now. He's a wonderful guy. He was harbor master here in Harwich forever, and he kind of came over. After they found the boat. Eventually, they found it. They found it in Dennis. It was not damaged too badly, and. Tom says, John, I don't think this is a job for you. Okay, thanks. So. They found me a job working at Bradley's department store down in the Dennis Harwich line. That was my introduction to night watchman. Yeah, it's beautiful. That's a legendary story. I think that's made the rounds around there because it was hilarious. I came to the ballpark that day. The guys were screaming. There's little plastic boats were sitting on the bench when I got there. You know, it was beautiful.
Did any of them go missing?
Tom Leach. I want to make sure I get Tom Leach, and I just saw him the other day at Cranberry, maybe the other day, maybe a couple months ago, Cranberry Valley. And we were laughing about that story. He goes, God, I forgot that story, but I remember it now. Yeah.
Well, you have a different job now. You're now the skipper for the Anglers, but
you've made watchman again.
But you've made Harwich your home.
Yes. Just worked out perfectly. You know, the home we found was just everything we were looking for. So that was it. It's in Harwich. We're happy. You know, it's a great spot. A lot of pluses. It's not too far from the 400 East. It's not too far from the Stop and Shop. It's not too far from the East Liquors. It's not too far from the highway. Did I say East Liquors?
All important things.
Yeah. So it worked out really well. No, it's a great spot, and Harwich is a nice town. And, you know, Chatham is wonderful. Unfortunately, I'm going to be really blunt. We couldn't afford Chatham, on what we were looking at, and this particular home just, you know, oh my gosh, it's on a little pond. You know, I got the fireplace, got the deck, and it's nice. It's a great spot, and like I said, I had made a lot of friends while I was here. And maintained a lot of those friendships when I came back coaching after I got out of pro ball, and then that was my first stop was assistant coach at Harwich, and just maintained great relationship with this whole area, and it's been wonderful. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better.
Schiffner right at home here at White House Field, and the Anglers, the visiting team tonight, will look to take a game from the first place Harwich team and try and move up in those eastern standings as this season gets towards the end. Schiff, thanks as always for your time.
Oh, thank you very much. I love talking about the old days. It's
we love hearing about them.
Oh God, it was, I got a lot of them, by the way, and some of them can be told on the air, and some, well, we can talk about those at some other time. But
Sounds good. Well, we got 16 games left, more stories to tell, and tonight a ball game. Evan, back to you.